Oh man, so when I made my Carter Hart video the last Sunday, talking about how Carter Hart was in a weird spot, he was really struggling, he was probably facing the most controversy he has ever faced in his young NHL career, and he's not used to this stuff. When we made that video, I said very clearly at the end that I am very much a believer in Carter Hart. In 10, 15 years, we're going to remember Carter Hart as a good goaltender, and one that was probably, at some points in his career, quite elite and one of the best in the league. But from that time until now, when we made the video a week and a half ago until now, things have really not gotten better for Carter Hart. As the Philadelphia Flyers, they're still giving up goals, they end up dropping a few more games. We made that video previously after they lost 6-1 to the Islanders. Well, they had a few more losses after that, the most significant one being that 8-3 loss against the Rangers. And yesterday, or excuse me, 2 days ago, we had ourselves word from Charlie O'Connor on Twitter talking about how the Flyers seem to be giving Carter Hart a bit of a break, with the focus on him practicing to clean up elements of his game. He won't start tonight, the 29th, when this tweet was posted. That was against the Buffalo Sabres 2 days ago, where the Sabres ended up losing again. And Carter Hart won't start on Wednesday, which is today. He'll be working with the Flyers goalie coach over the next few days, and the general consensus I've been seeing is that this is honestly a pretty good thing. Carter Hart has been way more rough than we're used to seeing him this season, so having some time away from the team, not playing any games, not being on the bench for any of these games, just having that rehabilitation period to just work with the goalie coach and do your thing, hey, that's pretty good. He's a young guy, he's still got a lot to learn, so there certainly are worse ways you can spend your time if you're Carter Hart with these circumstances. However, that's not all we have with the Philadelphia Flyers, because yesterday they did send Shayne Gostisbehere down on waivers. Now, at the time of me recording this video that's going to be uploaded sometime in the middle of the day on Wednesday, March 31st, we don't know if Shayne Gostisbehere is claimed or if he is staying in the Flyers organization. Obviously, you watching this video right now, you know what happened because the results were revealed earlier in the morning. But for Shayne Gostisbehere, whether he clears waivers and is out of the main roster of the team or he's on another organization, the fact is the Flyers are in a spot where they save money by doing this kind of move, which opens the door to more trade rumors and more trade speculation. Enter TSN insider trading from yesterday, where they talk about the Flyers, they talk about Taylor Hall, they talk about Jack Eichel, a few other things as well, so I will leave a link in the description if you want to go ahead and watch the segment. But they had themselves a little piece done on the Philadelphia Flyers, and goaltending in particular. LeBron on Insider Trading reports that the Flyers are discussing internally if they need goaltending help, which would give time to Carter Hart to reset. LeBron adds that Jonathan Bernier from the Red Wings is on the Flyers' radar if they decide to acquire a goalie. Is Jonathan Bernier heading over to Philly? That's our trade idea right here. Jonathan Bernier, playing for the Detroit Red Wings, is one of the honestly more capable players in the NHL when it comes to being a goaltender. When it comes to the Red Wings, we all kind of know they've had it rough this year, so the goaltenders, honestly, they've been pretty solid. And you can take a look at that just reflecting on the numbers over here. Jonathan Bernier, this season in the NHL, a .918 save percentage and a .278 goals against average. Now, the goals against average, that's not good. We know that that's a pretty high number over there. But that save percentage, man, it's honestly pretty good. It's better than Thatcher Demko's in 17 games played. Even the other goaltender in Detroit, Thomas Greiss, honestly played pretty well despite the fact that the Red Wings lost 4-1 to the Panthers yesterday. For Jonathan Bernier, though, the fact that he is indeed an expiring UFA, and the overall certainty as to whether or not he actually has something to play for sticking around in Detroit long-term is up in the air. There's a whole bunch of speculation that this guy could be one of the bigger trade pieces on the market, especially since he's only making $3 million this year. Now, we're still waiting on a full-time return for Jonathan Bernier to the crease because he has been out for a little bit, but he is still a capable NHL-caliber goaltender in this league who, on the Red Wings, is honestly doing pretty okay. So, if you're the Philadelphia Flyers and you say to yourselves, okay, we have ourselves Brian Elliott, he's fine. But for Carter Hart, we need to give this guy some time away from the game, you know, try to recoup himself and analyze what exactly it is that is going wrong with his overall performance and use his time away from the ice to work on that stuff. If we need to get another goaltender to fill in for Carter Hart while he is out, if Jonathan Bernier is our guy, what is the price that we're willing to pay? Now, I, for one, am kind of scared thinking about the idea of negotiating with Steve Yzerman on a deal. But if you're Chuck Fletcher and your plan is to go out there and do this Carter Hart removal rehabilitation process, you're gonna have to be forced to do this. So, what's the price? Is it a second-round pick, a third-round pick? He's only a goaltender who is expiring this year, but we all know how good goaltending can carry a hockey team once in a while. Now, I'm not saying that the Philadelphia Flyers are guaranteed to being carried by Bernier, it's just the Flyers, if you take a look at the standings right now, they're barely just outside the playoff hunt. They have themselves, at the time of this recording, 38 points, which is 3 back from the Bruins, and they also have 2 more games played than the Bruins, so things are a little bit more peculiar for the Flyers, especially if they want to go out there and solidify themselves as a team that's like, yeah, we're going to make the playoffs, and we're going to do something this year in the postseason. Just with the way the season has been shaping out and the way that the timeline of these things rolls out, I would not be surprised if, by the time the trade deadline rolls around in a few weeks, the Flyers are still just right there, either in the midst of that playoff hunt or just barely behind it. If this Carter Hart rehabilitation thing goes on for a while, you're going to have to make a tough decision. Do you commit to making the playoffs and you sell off some future assets for a Jonathan Bernier, or do you say, okay, it's a little bit too close for comfort. We don't really know if Carter Hart is going to bounce back. Let's just hold out and see what happens. If we make the playoffs, then okay. If we don't, then okay as well. Let's just keep the draft picks. Let's just not try to make a trade or whatever. Maybe that Shayne Gostisbehere waiver wire scenario from yesterday has a bigger indication as to what the plan could be, but as we've noted, things can change in 2 weeks in the NHL. So, for the Flyers, who are already significantly behind in this playoff push, is this the right move? There's a whole bunch of debate to be had as to whether or not there's value in considering this. But at the very least, you know, if you're a Red Wings fan, you're thinking about this like, okay, just come on, make the trade. Make the trade. Give us a draft pick. Give us a second. Give us a third. Give us whatever. Give us a prospect or whoever you have on your pipeline that would be interested in coming over here. Because, I mean, the Red Wings are sellers. We all kind of know that. So, Flyers fans, talk to me in the comments. What do you think about the Carter Hart situation right now? And do you think a Jonathan Bernier acquisition is necessary in this current timeline that you're experiencing for your hockey team? Would you rather take the proactive step and hopefully secure your playoff chances by acquiring an extra goaltender to help you out? Or do you see more value in just staying put and being like, okay, this is Carter Hart's team. We're going to give him that opportunity to be the guy here and therefore not go out there and acquire another goaltender, because the consequences if we miss the playoffs are a little bit too dire in this situation. There's a whole bunch of philosophical debate that can go on here, so I'm looking forward to seeing that in the comments below. Of course, I know the Red Wings fans are going to go down there and be like, yeah, get Bernier, give us a pick, but it is what it is. So, talk to me in the comments if you're a Red Wings or a Flyers fan. What do you think about this idea here? Bernier to the Flyers. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.